Tonight I'm going to talk about my personal experience in AdWords. I've seen I'm in this market. I've been in this market for a very long time, much longer than I would like to remember actually. But I'm a sort of a dinosaur of the search engine marketing field in Italy, and we talked about outdoor experience yet, but I'm working as a freelance professional. I've been working for a lot of years now, and I've developed also a tool about methodology. You will see. I will share with you tonight. Because I've seen things in AdWords campaign that you human can only imagine. I couldn't think of a better slide to begin for this presentation, and that's why I came with my methodology, which I also patented. The biggest problem when you work as a freelance professional is that you always take over with PPC campaigns done by other professionals or by companies themselves. So they are all that everything apart from perfect. And you have to know if you have to evaluate if to use napalm since the beginning and starting over, erase everything and start again since the beginning, or you can use some parts of the data they've used, the campaigns they have run since that moment. The most common and the first two questions you receive when you take over a PPC account of big or small companies, always the same. Okay, where we are now, like Christopher Colombo. Usually they don't even know exactly where they have landed, which exactly is their condition. The second most common question is, okay, what we have to do now to improve our situation and to get better results. Usually they have had the majority of time they have problems with their campaigns. Otherwise, they will have continued to go with their previous professionals. This is the part in which the methodology I created comes in. You can do this evaluation really in a small amount of time. It depends, of course, on the how big is the account, but you can do a sort of pre-test, a sort of pre-evaluation in less than 5 minutes actually with this model, and I will show it how it works. You only need few minutes and only 3 reports to look at 3 reports. Of course, you will need more time the more the campaign is complex. The methodology it's called I named it PPC Checkmate. And as I told you, I patented it last year in US market. Let's see how it works. It's based on 3 KPIs, 3 main KPIs. The first one, efficiency, is an evaluation on on the efficiency on buying clicks. So are you buying your clicks at the lowest rates possible? This, of course, doesn't mean that you are buying the right clicks. The right clicks are, of course, those which brings you conversions, which brings you money. But that still isn't enough. You need another check, because as you know, Google isn't a non-profit. So when you finish your money, they stop all your campaigns. So they stop what is working and what is not working. So you have to even to know on what things you need to invest more money. You have to look at the coverage. You have to look at the impression shares of your campaigns to know if the more effective keywords and placements are covering all the market they can, or you are simply over budgeting. You are simply under budgeting your campaigns, and so you are losing some conversion opportunities. Let's start with the first KPI, efficiency. Efficiency evaluation in search is a little simpler because AdWords is showing you a number starting from 0 to 10 for quality scores. So if your top spending keywords are range from 7 to 10, you can say you usually have a good structure. There are some exceptions, a good granular campaigns. So you are, at least in Google's opinion, answering at your best at the consumer's queries, at the user's query. There are some exceptions, of course. If you are using, for instance, keywords with your competitors' name, competitors' brand names, that could be something really interesting to do and something that works. But usually you won't reach those levels of quality scores in these groups, in these campaigns. So there are some sections, but you can say that if you have high quality scores for your top spending campaign, you are at least buying clicks at least you can. Unfortunately, you can't consider this KPI as is in display and shopping campaigns, because Google doesn't show it clearly as a number as it does for search network. And this way you have to in display and shopping campaigns, you have to consider it by indirect ways. The first thing you can evaluate to see if your campaigns are efficient is the CTR, the click-through rate, and the second thing is the bounce rate, which you can import directly from analytics if you link the two accounts. But why is it so important? Conversion quality score. It is really important because it is one of the two elements which enters the algorithm that decides your position, the position of your ads, and the effective CPC, effective cost per click you are going to spend in AdWords. As any auction in AdWords, you can offer a maximum CPC. So let's, for an instant, make an example of the auction, of an auction for whatever keyword you would like to consider. If there are four advertisers entering this auction with four different maximum CPCs, the platform is going to give them different quality scores. The first effect of the quality score is as I told you, the ad rank, which is the quality score multiplied by max cost per click, and giving you ad rank, which is a number which is responsible, which is the metric AdWords uses to rank you. So the highest the ad rank is, the better is the position of your ad. But that's not all, because the effective cost per click of your announce of your ad is given by the ad rank of the competitor you immediately after you, divided by your quality score. So in this case, 15 divided by 8, so 1.87 euros. This is a sort of, I've told so many times to this algorithm, and I didn't realize I haven't decided yet if the person who created this algorithm has to be pursued for a trick, for deceiving you in AdWords campaign, or as to have the Nobel for economy. Because in this way you can see that campaigns are the third advertiser is going to spend almost the double of the first one to be after him. So the quality score is really an important thing you should consider in your campaign, because it's a multiplier of the position and at a leader of cost. Of course, being so important in AdWords, Google will show it immediately, you know, for every AdWords, for every keywords. No, you have to add it to custom columns. So you have to go to columns, select quality score, and then you will see something like this table, something like this data. You can order by descending costs, and you will see what are the levels, the average levels of your quality score. This is actually the first thing I do in an AdWords campaign I doesn't know. I'm doing it at the most aggregate level. All campaigns and all groups mixed together. I cannot, I simply doesn't care at the beginning which the structure is. If quality score is tending to 10, then the structure should be quite good, at least in Google eyes. And regarding efficiency, we will see afterwards what is to do afterwards to gain effectiveness also. Okay, some really fast suggestions to improve efficiency. First of all, you can use longer tail keywords, so longer keywords made up of more words. Use all the extensions. Use negative keywords. I literally love lists of negative keywords. You can do a list and then connect it to all the campaigns you want. You can do several different lists and use them in different campaigns. Keywords matching types, because in this way you are limiting the impressions of your keywords, and so you can of course lift click-through rates. New ad variations. If you put inside, if you write different copies, different variations of your ads, of course you have more opportunities to lift click-through rates. I say at least 5 per groups. 5 per group because this way you leave to the platform the possibility to check them. It's an old way of doing tests. The one leaving only 2 ads matching all the keywords of the group, because Google is optimizing ads for several different things, not only for click-through rates. So it would be limiting its auto-optimizing internal algorithm, giving it only 2 ads. Again, dynamic keyword insertion. So the ability to change the ad in relation with what the user searched, and ad personalizers, so you can change something in several ads at the same moment. Or test dynamic search ads, which is the last innovation in search ads, in which Google can even find itself keywords, write the ad and find landing pages. So it's a sort of automation on steroid in campaigns, and I think it's the future in AdWords. So let's see, beyond the efficiency, beyond the fact that we are spending the less possible for our clicks, what does mean exactly effectiveness in AdWords? Are we buying the right clicks? In AdWords, it's quite easy to check if you are using the right clicks, if you are tracking conversions, of course. The conversion, the way conversions are tracked is far from being perfect, actually, because cookies are not really highly reliable. So the value, the number of conversions will be always less than real. Because users often change their devices, they use ad blocks, plugins. So it's quite common. You will lose some conversion. That's why when I check this KPI, I usually check only out of scale conversions. So conversions which are going to cost us far more of the rest. In this case, you will see the first 2 ad groups are consuming more than the level of the others other groups to convert. So something is wrong in these ads, in these groups. You will have to check also the I call them black budget holes, things that are not converting at all, even if you are spending a lot of money on them. So you have to check also this one. What to do to better effectiveness? Improving effectiveness starts from tracking pre-conversions, engagement conversions, or behavioral conversions that could bring to you some money in the future, potentially, or taking having top rankings only for effective keywords, the one that are actually converting, or doing some landing page tests, click tracking, online chat surveys, especially the on-exit surveys, are really useful to improve effectiveness of the site and, of course, of the campaigns. You can test also enhanced CPC or pass to maximize conversion or cost per action if you have a good history of conversion, so that you can give to the system enough data to work on. Or you can use some tools like aggressive display targeting or small display campaigns. Use different different targeting options in your campaigns. So remarketing in different options. Manage effective placements, placements which bring you conversion directly, manually, or optimizing them. And you can, of course, work on the fact that devices very it's quite common they will have different conversion rates, and so you can work on optimizing bids on the most effective devices. Let's move to the last click, to the last KPI. Sorry. As I told you, Google isn't a non-profit company, so when you finish your budget, you finish showing your ads. So even people who are searching exactly for the keywords you are converting on may not even look at your ads, may not even see your ads. So you have to check for the last KPI if the effective keywords and placements have the maximum possible coverage, the impression share. In Google, in AdWords, it's called impression share. How can you check this? Impression share can be custom colored. You have also for search and display network. When you activate it in custom columns, you can have a sort of you can look at this kind of report. In this report, you will see, in this case, for instance, you have a good conversion rate, a click conversion rate, but an impression share of only 42%. That means that only 4 people out of 10 who could actually see this ad are really seeing it. So you have to add budget to this group. Or in these cases, you see the impression share is quite low, but the conversion rates are quite high, and as the average position. So in this case, you can even try to add some more money on CPC, on maximum CPC, so that you can have a better average position and probably increase your conversion, increase your impression share and conversion numbers. How to optimize conversion, how to optimize coverage. Some very simple suggestions. One of the most important things is to balance daily budget and daily expense, the real expense, because this way you have people, you are defining when your target people are looking at your ads. It's not left to Google to decide if your budget is if they have to stop your campaigns. Of course, you can push for high converting campaigns, high converting groups, or even high converting keywords, and have them in the first positions when they are really bringing you some conversions. Even after the organic results, this way you are going to spend a lot less on these keywords converting items. Or if you are working in a B2B market or a B2C market, of course, or you can schedule all extensions, especially call extension and offers in line with your office hour, or block the ads in the geographical. The new version of an AdWords synthetic guide, which is only made up of only 20 pages, and which is a video case histories about PPC cases and conversion rate optimization cases, just for you who are looking at this presentation. One, I think, but it's which are starting from 2012 are free, of course. So that's all for me, and live long and prosper with your AdWords campaign.